catches for like 90 yards, got the ball out quick, catch and run, and that worked. And that's going to kind of have to be the game plan here. And Brees could do that. Izzy could do that. Cook could do that to an extent. That's how I think you play this game. I mean, how do you see this one playing out? I mean, it's a short week. Miami has been like, that game against the Raiders, like they could have really easily lost that game. How do you think this one plays out?
Well, the thing is that's so weird with the Jets is they find something like the pony package, and the first play, they get the Bills totally thrown off with a ton of misdirection, with them flowing to the play action to Cook, and they throw to Brees, and it's a great play. And then, like, the Jets are so bad on offense that when they find anything that works, they need to hammer it into the ground until the defense completely sells out against it to try something else, right? Like, that's the weird thing with the Jets. They find things that work, and then they're like, all right, now we're going to do this. And it's like, no, you're not good at really anything, so just keep doing the one thing that you're finding success with. Even we haven't seen the direct snap to Brees since he got that first down on fourth down or whatever it was 2 weeks ago. Like, they're in situations where you should run that. You should go direct snap to Brees Hall and get an extra blocker next to him. And they're so slow at the line of scrimmage that, and this is probably a Zach problem, but even how long runs take to develop, Brees gets hit after he gets the ball all the time. So mix in the direct snap, mix in the pony package to throw to both running backs. It's just like, yeah, they're just not a good enough team to be trying to operate like a normal offense. And when you ask me why I look at this game, like, it can really go one of two ways. You would think a game like this goes how the Bills game went, where they're down, like 9-0 halfway through the second quarter. And it's like, man, it feels like they should be losing 30-0, but they're somehow still in this game. And then that just goes on so long that the floodgates open a little bit. Like, the defense, I talked about this on the post-game pod. The defense has to gamble. They're a little bit they're not checked out, but they're playing differently. When the Jets are in a game, this defense is the most buttoned up unit. Like, they are really buttoned up. But when the offense does nothing for 8 weeks straight and they're down again, like, they're going to have to gamble. And gambling's dangerous, especially against Josh Allen, right? Like, against the really good offenses, like, you can find yourself in trouble trying to gamble. And Miami's a really good offense, right? Like, you don't want to be wrong about gambling against Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle or Tua. Miami's running backs are banged up. The run game would scare me in this one a lot. The Jets, since Al Woods went down, their run defense has been like, it leaves some to be desired at times.
Yep.
So yeah, in theory, I mean, it's a 10-point spread, by the way, since it went from 7.5 to 10. And a lot of that's to do with them making the Tim Boyle starter, which is funny. Like, in theory, the Jets, this is a game where they get like semi blown out, but I know everybody's like very recency biased where they've looked awful. Like, they got blown out by the Chargers and obviously the Bills. But then you look at a lot of the games they've played this year too. There's this part of it where it's like, if the offense is like semi capable, it'll be a long drawn out game where they're going to be in it to the end. So I'm at the point with the Jets where it's hard to know what to expect. It really, really is. Like, this is the type of game where one weird wrong hit on Tua and he hobbles off the field, and it's like, I get it, Mike White comes in, which isn't the worst drop off in the world, but like, it's still like, this game kind of changed really quickly. Like, that's the kind of, Tyreek Hill's been hurt multiple weeks. He always plays the next week, but he's left games. Like, the Dolphins offensive line isn't that good still, in my opinion. So it's a tricky one. Your gut kind of tells you like, man, they should get blown out. But then like, you really go deep into your brain. You're like, they're going to have a spark because Boyle's taking the first snaps. So like, if Boyle comes out and like, say he takes him down the field and they kick a field goal, the defense is going to look at each other like, okay, like maybe we get 15 today. And like, let's hold them to 14. Like, that mental side of things is really, really different in the NFL, in all sports.
They need that early points or big play. Like, if he hits Garrett Wilson for like a 35-yard gain in the first quarter, Brees rips off like a 26-yard run or something, just so everyone can kind of like exhale and be like, okay, today might be a little different. And maybe it doesn't end up being different because we've seen plenty of games where the Jets go right down the field and score and they don't score at all. Not necessarily this year, but in other years. You need something like that, though, to get the crowd into it, to get the defense confident, to be like, look, like, we might score 17 points today, like you said. And if we can do that, then, hey, We got a puncher's chance here. Tua will throw you a couple. Ashton Davis will catch him. He always catches them. And I don't know. I don't expect
he tried to bring that back.
They had to score a touchdown on that play.
Yeah.
I was like, they don't score on that play. That was probably the game that could have hung around maybe. Listen, I don't have any expectations. It would not shock me at all if Miami wins and covers comfortably. I mean, this is a team that's reeling right now. Division games can be weird, and the Jets, there's absolutely a scenario where the Jets hang around in this game and Boyle's a little better than we expect. The safest bet is to not bet on this game. But if you are, man, I would look for some very specific props. I always like the Zerline over props. I like the Jets defense to get a sack prop that hit on the first play of the game, I think, against Buffalo, which was a nice one to have hit. I don't know. I mean, I don't think this is the best time for this matchup for the Jets. But again, I'm more interested to watch Boyle than I would be to watch another Zach Wilson game. And we're going to have, the quick turn here. The game, we're recording this Tuesday night, so either running Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Game's Friday. I'll have a 12-pack out Thanksgiving morning. What's better to go with your food and Lions and Cowboys game than Jets picks? And then Connor and I will be back later Friday, usually around the time we drop a post-game review after a 4 o'clock game, just like an hour and a half earlier. And that will take us into the weekend. So if you haven't yet, make sure you check out the other guys. We'll have another Buck the Trend over the weekend. Enjoy your holiday, everyone. Don't go into Friday with expectations. Go in with a sense of humor. Go in with some hope that there will be better days ahead, because it's mathematically impossible for the Jets to be any worse on offense than they are now. And let's hope UConn's own Timmy Boyle shocks us and we get a random fun game like we did with Mike White a few years ago. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and happy Thanksgiving.